Hello everyone, welcome back to the class. This is module number 10. We're up to double digits, and this is Wabi Sabi, which means imperfection. The definition of Wabi Sabi is the acceptance of imperfection, of a fault, a blemish, or an undesirable feature. A lot of times you'll see this in pottery that maybe is broken and it's repaired. I am a big fan of doing this. Instead of just throwing things out, I like to repair things. And it's quite fun because it makes things more characteristic. It gives things personality. And the other aspect of this is something we've already talked about, but it's the idea of impermanence and change. And so I think a lot of times with Wabi Sabi, we're buying something maybe, and we want it to be perfect in our home, and then it breaks, the natural inclinations to throw it away. But in Japanese culture, there is beauty in imperfection. And if you really stop and think about what this is really trying to get to in life, is perfectionism is not helpful. And if we could let go of our expectations of things having to be perfect, of having to go exactly our way, we could really shift our mindset and be much more open to what the universe can supply us with. And we also might have the ability to sort of transform our idea of what we think the results should be. And so this to me is a really powerful teaching. It doesn't always come naturally to people. You have to be a little bit creative. If you want to obviously fix something, you need glue or string, or cement, whatever materials you need to fix the product that has broken. But if you take it away from the product and reflect it back on yourself, we're obviously imperfect beings. And those of us who are perfectionists or have perfectionistic sort of tendencies, this is a good opportunity to stop and reflect and say, okay, is it realistic for me to think I could be perfect at everything? Or is it realistic to think that nothing is ever going to change or break? The answer obviously is no. So once again, this is tying back to multiple concepts. And one of the big ones is absolutely letting go, right? Letting go of expectations and, preconceived notions. And it also involves simplicity too, right? Simplifying life, simplifying things, being okay with it not representing exactly the picture you have in mind. And, it's funny because when you think about movies, a lot of us are influenced by the movies that we watch and the TV shows, and life always seems so perfect, right, for a lot of the characters. I mean, even if they go through the typical hero's journey and they go through challenges, a lot of times they ride off into the sunset, and we all know that's not necessarily life. Life is imperfect, life is hard, life is constantly changing, we have to let go. And so this concept of Wabi Sabi and improving and repairing broken items is a nice visual representation of this teaching. And so we'll go through some problems with being a perfectionist and then the benefits of embracing perfection. And so some of the problems is low self-worth. It can lead to depression, anxiety, high stress levels. Overworking is a pretty common trait of perfectionists because they're trying to pound themselves into oblivion to make it picture perfect. There's fear of failure, negative self-talk, and need for external validation. Perfectionism with entrepreneurs and business people is very, very common. And especially solopreneurs who are building businesses such as myself, there's this idea that it has to be perfect before I can release it out to the audience. And this happens a lot with musicians and artists also, that they're always constantly tweaking their artwork or their music because it has to be perfect. But if we really stop and think about it, what is perfect? What we really need to do is we need to get out there, we need to test our product, our solution, our idea, and then we need to iterate and be flexible and agile, right? Concepts we've talked about earlier. So this practice of Wabi Sabi is to cut through the ego sort of perfectionism and open up a whole other world of imperfection and actually embrace it. So the benefits of imperfection are acceptance of oneself, adaptability, open-mindedness, enhanced creativity, enhanced self-compassion, more gratitude, more resourcefulness, and an increase in problem solving. And again, we just spoke about in the last module problem solving as in relation to koans. But in this case, if you break a ceramic bowl in your kitchen, instead of just tossing it out in the garbage and being annoyed that the piece broke, you could actually stop, breathe, calmly say, okay, how can I salvage this? And you go and get some glue and you restore it. And now you have a brand new beautiful piece that now actually has more character than it did before it broke. So I hope this teaching resonates with you, and we'll see you in the next module.